вот уже треть жителей США в возрасте от 18 до 24 лет верят, что Земля плоская, а почти 15% американцев в возрасте за 30 с ними согласны.
Никому не нравится чувство, что мы находимся на маленьком шарике, который несется сквозь Вселенную. Да, закроют программы с астрофизическим и космическим уклоном. Оставшиеся естественные науки, как биология, геология, океанология, археология и другие, должны быть полностью обновлены.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat!
He's an interesting guy, man, and, you know, he believes it, so. Kyrie, the earth is flat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever.
That's news.
That's news. There we go.
You must unite what has been set asunder.
We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with the mainstream scientific community. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is catching up on the Bachelorette, waiting anxiously to see who else is a flat earther. Maybe the peanut gallery will get the rose. I never watched that show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, you're not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube, you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And if it is not June 19th, 2018, well, then it's a rerun. Quote of the day from the Peanut Gallery goes a little something like this. When the three branches of government have failed to represent the citizenry and the mass of the media has failed to represent the citizenry, then the citizenry better represent the citizenry. Great. I hated using that word, and that's from David Mamet. Mark Sargent 2018 Flat Earth Challenge is in effect right now. This is my personal declaration of war from Flat Earth against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, hereby put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a NASA-approved self-contained spacesuit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and pull the switch. Or pull the lever, flip the switch, whatever. For more information wow. stumbling, a little hot today. For more information on this, please check out Flat Earth Clues 13, The Lost Nail. Tonight is going to be a call-in show. Last week we had Nathan, who was at the Salton Sea experiment, and maybe we'll bring back him for a future episode because apparently the Flat Earth Faithful are going to do a whole bunch of stuff down at the Salton Sea. Even though I said, don't do it. It's horrible, but it's horrible conditions, but they're going to do it anyway. They're going to do it right. They're going to do it, not in the middle of the day. They're going to do it first thing in the morning, and they've got all sorts of fun stuff cooked up. So I can't wait to see how that pans out. Phone numbers to call in go a little something like this. You can call in 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Or 720-897-6111. Or if you're in the UK, type in whatever number to get to the US, and then 44203-393-2871. Or if you just want to call in and listen, that number has changed. That number is now 701-719-4853. Real quick announcements before I pick up the calls. We have a couple already on the line. I will be on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes tomorrow at 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, and that's on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes YouTube channel with the lovely Patricia Steer. And what else? I don't think there's anything else. I don't have any other announcements at the moment. Everything's going swimmingly. Flat Earth couldn't be better. So let's just go straight to the phones. 310 is going to be the first one we pick up. 310, you're on the air with Strange World right now. What are we talking about? What's going on? Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Mark. Hi, how are you? This is Alex Ace from the Streetwear Addicts in Anaheim.
Hey.
The clothing store.
Right on.
I wanted to give a quick promotion for our meetup for July 1st.
Sure.
Right here in Anaheim. It's at 720 South Euclid Street, Anaheim, California. Zip code is 92802. So it's from 12 to 6 p.m. We're going to have, we have like shirts, hats. We're going to do raffles, a little fashion show, have some food, and just have a lot of fun and network and bond and have a good time.
Right on. That sounds like a lot of fun. As you know, I just got back from California, did a meetup in Arcadia. With National Geographic. It was a lot of fun. Patricia Steer was there, and Rob Skiba, and I think it was like 100 people showed up to that thing.
Yeah.
And I've got to apologize because I used to give Southern California a whole bunch of crap because they were kind of late to the meetup game. I thought they were late to the meetup game. It turns out they were doing their own and weren't contacting me as far as doing meetups. Like, oh no, we're just going to do our own thing. And then I found out you guys do some great meetups out there. So good for you guys.
Yep, and at the meetup in Arcadia, remember that guy who ran up to you in the parking lot to get that first selfie with you and Patricia?
Yeah.
That was me, yeah.
Oh, right on, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, I gave you guys the Flat Earth sticker and our card for Streetwear Addicts.
Right on. That was an amazing weekend. I loved it. Even though the Salton Sea thing was horrible and I knew it was going to be horrible, I still really enjoyed the entire trip. So thank you for being a part of that.
Yeah, but Nathan saved the day.
Yeah. Yeah, and now
he's going to be at our meetup, by the way. He's going to be doing tattoos at our meetup, by the way.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Nathan.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what everyone's does at the new Salton Sea test. I know they're going to invite the IIG. I know National Geographic's not going to be out there for this one, but they are going to invite local media. So I hope they get some traction.
Yeah, Nathan invited me to that one today.
Right on.
So I'll be a part of that experiment too, helping out. So right on, man. Hey, thanks a lot. I'll end the call here. I'm about to head out to work. So
all right.
Thank you so much.
Stay flat.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Let's jump over to 304 area code. 304, you're on live with Strange World right now. Who are you? What are you doing?
Hey, Mark. It's Nathan Fowler here, working and listening.
Hey. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you just want to listen? Is that what you're doing?
No. I called in about a half hour ago, and it was the last show, and I brought up the Space Force stuff, you know.
Oh,
all that
gotcha.
jazz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the Space Force thing was kind of surprising to me. I didn't realize that, and it seemed kind of casual when he brought it up. But as you know, nothing in politics happens by accident. So, you know, the fact that Trump is saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to do a Space Force," he's not doing a Space Force. It's like, really, we're going to do the whole. We're going to do Starship Troopers. That's what we're going to do from the '90s. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Service
I'm
guarantees
looking at-
citizenship. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Exactly. Hey, man, it's a good idea.
Mm.
But yeah, the only point is I kind of think he's either a closet flat earther calling out NASA and the whole cabal of non-truthers, you know, the one to keep the secrets.
Yeah.
By doing this, you know.
Maybe.
Or he's part of the system. He could be.
It's hard to say because presidents nowadays, you know, if you've heard me say anything over the last few years, I said that Eisenhower was the last president with any real power. But at the same time, it's kind of weird because if he's a puppet, that's one thing, but he's not exactly your run-of-the-mill puppet because he didn't start in politics. So, and I've met some closet flat earthers recently, some pretty high-profile people, and yeah, he could be, maybe. Hard to say. I just don't have any sort of reading on President Trump. I don't. I wish I did. I just don't though.
Well, yeah. I caught his message that Robbie Davidson shared on Celebrate Truth last night.
Yeah.
It was kind of cryptic, you know. He put here we're going to venture into the forbidden heavens, kind of like, you know, what I was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to keep our eye open, and
yeah,
if
exactly.
happens,
yeah, I'm prepared. I've been prepared for anything for a long time. Remember, I was in a Nibiru for a while, so yeah. I was fully prepared for the weirdest stuff ever. And so if anything happens now, I'm about as ready. And anyone wants my free survival guide, just email me and say I want your survival guide, and I'll send you the PDF file. But please do try to print it out if I send it to you.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else?
Just keep doing what you're doing, Mark. All
right. Do you want me to just put you on mute?
Yeah, because the app kind of shut down on me, and I got to pull it out.
Oh, no worries.
Reboot it.
No worries. I will put you on mute. You'll hear the nice female voice saying that you've been muted. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
All right. I just muted him. Actually, the voice says "Go to hell" and then hangs up on him. It's really rude. No, I'm kidding. Totally says mute. All right, let's go to 910 area code. I might be in North Carolina. Maybe. What's going on out there?
What's up, man? It's Jake from North Carolina.
Hey.
I always forget half the things I'm going to say, but
no,
take Space Force.
Space Force.
The Space Force thing. I mean, I know you remember Elon talking about how they had the ability for projecting 3D images in the sky, right?
Right. Project Bluebeam. Yeah.
So this is what I'm thinking. Are they bringing out the big guns now? Since there's so much flat Earth talk. I mean,
yeah, why not?
They got Will Smith on National Geographic.
Yeah, I know, right? he and I on basically the same program. That's awesome. I'm both humbled and worried simultaneously.
I don't know if you noticed this, but they put that program on. Do you know what's right after that program?
No.
Cartoons.
Really? What kind?
Like Family Guy and Bob's Burgers and all these type of shows. Yeah, man. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Yeah, they're cramming it down the throats, man. Let's see. What else did I have? Oh, the volcano. What's up with the volcano, man? What do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts
every time I hear the volcano now, because I was a big fan of the movie 2012, which was back in 2009 of all things. Wow, hard to believe that's almost 10 years ago. You remember when they were flying, they thought they might be able to land in Hawaii and refuel, and Hawaii, the whole volcano chain just destroyed it from the inside out. And so every time I see a thing about the volcano recently over in Hawaii, I think of that. But at the same time, it's, the volcanoes are kind of like the mummy, real dangerous, but real slow. So, I mean, you saw the pictures where there's people playing golf with the volcano in the background, because it's just lava is notoriously slow. There's only been so few, there's been so few violent, very sudden volcanic eruptions over the years. I think the most violent and sudden was Krakatoa, which was apparently the loudest sound ever. From what I understand, the loudest sound in the history of our civilization. But it was like real sudden. And Vesuvius, I think, was kind of fast. But the stuff over in Hawaii, I mean, they're big and they're slow.
Check this.
Yeah.
Check this out. Mm-hmm. All these booms that everyone has been hearing, right?
Yeah.
All over the United States, right?
Okay.
You've heard of that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, these big booms. Just think about this Earth as a foundation of your house, man. I mean, you start blowing things up and drilling holes, and it's going to crumble, and whatever's underneath's coming up,
Oh, sure.
But
yeah.
I had a guy tell me, he's a Christian guy, and he says, the second trumpet is a mountain, as it were, on fire being cast into the sea. And he's talking about a third of the sea dying. And I started thinking about this, man. Do you know lava rock holds a lot of mercury?
I did not know that.
That's why some of these stoner kids who are growing their pot in mercury rocks and these lava rocks. I mean, you shouldn't do that. Guys, don't do that, okay?
Don't grow your pot in mercury-filled rocks. Got it. Right.
Yeah. Lava holds a lot of mercury.
Good safety tip.
So
kids.
I was thinking that's going to probably kill the fish, But I want to bring up the moon thing.
Sure.
I made a comment on somebody's show, and it was journalism, and he really didn't believe me, but I've been watching the moon for like 6 months now, and I'm on the East Coast, okay? So I think January to February to March, I'm looking at the sky during the daytime, and I see the moon. I see the moon in the morning, I see it at lunchtime, and I see it in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I need to take pictures of this with a newspaper beside me and a clock? What do I have to do?
Oh, you mean to get people to kind of understand?
Is that supposed?
Not necessarily.
Is that supposed to be possible?
Not a newspaper, but it'd be way easier. Just take a picture of your date timestamp on your phone. So you're gonna have to have two devices or some sort of clock. You hold some sort of clock. You don't need a newspaper necessarily, but hold some sort of clock and then just remember the day. And people take your word for it.
So
sure.
even he told me that there should be 12 hours where you shouldn't see it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that must be I'm asleep probably 7-8 hours,
and
I get up, and I know back in February I seen it at 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean,
yeah.
So what's the deal with that?
Document as much as you can, man, and shoot it to a bunch of people. Shoot it to me. I will take a look. I don't get a lot of emails, but I'll take a look at it.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Anything else?
All
right. You have a good rest of your night, okay? And we're moving on to 612 area code. 612, you're on the live with Strange World right now. What's up?
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I think I went and I dialed the wrong number. I bet it's that Flat Earth guy, I called. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, we're on. Oh, hey, Mark, this is Wes Stace, Flat Earth News Talk. How you doing?
Wes, why? Why do you insist on calling into this show? Really? I don't like your emails. I don't like your voicemails. I certainly don't like the wildly inappropriate pictures you send of yourself to me.
And I heard that you're throwing away my cookies too. What the hell?
Yeah.
There's an old blast from the past.
What, the cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not throwing them away. Homeland's throwing them away. They won't even let me see the box. They said, "Don't touch it. Don't touch it." and they take it to bomb disposal, and then all those guys get wound up. I'm telling you, man, you cause a lot of problems around here.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I called in to Paul's show, Paul on the Plane, and I think you were probably listening. I don't know, but made a few references about you. All good, by the way.
Well, that's good. That's nice to know.
Basically, the whole thing about going to the moon. That's pretty much the big thing that's in flat Earth right now is Trump saying that we're going to go back to the moon. And it's like, I'm going to leave with everybody with this one quote, and you can try to figure out who actually wrote this quote.
Okay.
Peanut Galler's probably going to freaking know it right away for the simple fact he's a walking encyclopedia. But here goes.
Cyclopedia? I'm totally remembering that one. Go ahead.
Here goes. Make the lie big, make it simple, keep saying it, and eventually they will believe it. You know who wrote that?
Adolf Hitler.
You're right.
Yeah.
Bing, bing, bing.
I know that one.
You win another box of cookies.
Thank you. I'll make sure I forward it off to the guys at the lab. I know that one very, very well. The Nazi machine was really good at propaganda and really good at psychological warfare and drilling things home to their population. And
absolutely.
Very efficient group.
It makes you think twice about the whole Holocaust. How much of it is really true?
We don't like to really get into it on this show, but I know where you're coming from. Are the numbers real? Don't know. Did it happen? I believe it happened, but the question is how many? Don't know. I mean, everybody hypes up certain things. Would you hype up something like that? I don't know. I try to stay away from it because you tend to get in a bit of trouble. Anyway, anything else, Wes?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No, that was it. I just wanted to say thank you to all of the Flat Earth shows that are on TFR. They don't really get a really big recognition for what they do, putting everything out there for the masses, and just wanted to thank all of them.
Right on. Yeah, TFR does a bang up job, and it's amazing. I mean, there's a whole bunch of Flat Earth shows. I think there's 5 for, and 2 against right now. And that's pretty amazing. It's polarizing to where 7 shows on the same network have some sort of stake in the game, and it's great. I love all the shows that are talking about Flat Earth, and why not? It is the new hotness, and it's going to continue to be the new hotness.
All right, Peanut Gallery has nothing to say.
All right, hang on.
Hard to believe.
Hang on, it took him a while. Hang on. His quote to you is this: today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. Who said that?
Ain't that the truth?
No.
I mean, every globalist is living in a false reality.
That was said by Nikola Tesla, of all people.
There you go. Yeah.
He was more of a
guy
nuts.
was so.
Yeah, he was more of a nuts and bolts guy.
Yeah, but I still think he was a flat earther. I really do.
I do too. I think he knew the nature of the universe. Absolutely.
Yeah,
anyway,
I think he understood a lot more. All right.
Anything else?
Take care. Nope, that was it. Short and sweet. I'm out of here.
All right.
Have a good one, Mark.
See you. Bye, Les. Okay. We have time for one more for the first break. Let's go to 214 area code. You're on Live with Strange World right now. Just you and me.
Morning Wood here.
Morning Wood.
This is Chris Pontius calling in.
Hey, it's Chris Pontius. How are you, man? We have not spoken since for a while, and definitely not since the California event.
I've just been really, really busy trying to keep busy making models to fill the orders that seem to keep coming in.
Right on. That's great.
By the way, my electric chopper that I took to the conference, the name of it is Morning Wood, only it's spelled M-O-U-R. And
that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I cracked up on your show a few weeks ago when you were going off on that.
Oh, well, I did a video on it. At least 18 months ago, I did a video on morning wood as like a public health thing for men that are out there. And that is, you guys haven't heard, you want to know how to get rid of morning wood, you literally just take a cup of water and drink it. First thing when you get up, that's it. Your body will remember where it is because you're coming out of a dream state and your body's like, hey, where am I? This could be arousing. And the water, when you're drinking it, your body goes, oh, right, it was a dream, and snaps you back into normality. So there you go. There's my health tip for today.
That's great. Hey, by the way, thanks for, I was going to thank you for doing such a great job presenting my my latest creation out there at the Salton Sea event.
I had so much fun with that, and I can't take all the credit. Dan the Waterman was wonderful when it came to that, and they definitely are going to use it. So when that National Geographic thing comes out, you're going to be showcased in it. I would use that clip and put it all over your website, and I'll reproduce it every chance I get, because they were all over it, and it displayed very, very well. The weather conditions were perfect. The camera conditions were perfect. Everybody was so positive, and it was a great focal point for the film teams that were there.
Well, I got a call from one of the cameramen who wanted to take the dome off to get some. They were playing. They had it. The whole team had it the whole day Saturday at the hotel, and they wanted to get some really good shots of it. And then it started acting up because it was a last minute thing. I tried to put some batteries in it because I realized that having a cord out there seemed to be a problem. Somebody trip over the cord and everything. So the good news is I figured out a way to try to make the future ones battery powered, and it just looks like my little model business is growing like crazy.
Wonderful, man.
I sold a couple of the. I sold a couple of the mega models a couple weeks ago, and so I got enough money to invest in enough materials to make dozens and dozens more now.
Awesome.
So, but what I'm really excited about, I wanted to tell everybody, was the idea that, and I love, by the way, Dan's terminology, calling it the Pontius projection. Everybody who loves that. It kind of has a nice ring to it.
Can you do your announcement?
So we're going to try to promote.
Can you do your announcement in less than 60 seconds? Because we're going to break. Otherwise, I'll have to carry you through.
Well, I'll just wrap this up real quick. I just want to tell everybody real fast here that I'm real excited about what I'm calling the beach model. I figured out how to mount some solar panels in where the oceans are, so they're kind of hidden in there. And then it can be charged up and make an industrial frame out of some aluminum diamond plates, so it can be, handled and banged around. And then put it on the beach with all the lights lit up, and during the day it charges up really good. And at night, because they can't have campfires on the beaches there anymore, it'd be lit up, and everybody's going to come over and sit and wonder what that thing is on the beach.
Awesome.
So I'm really excited about getting one out there to them as soon as I can have time to get one made.
Cool. Awesome. Everything you have is at flatearthmodels.com.
Oh, thank you for saying that. But I haven't. It was fun to call in. I've tried numerous weeks, but I couldn't get through. It was just fun to talk to you. But looking forward to seeing you. Probably won't see you until the conference in November. I'm not going to make it up to the show, the one in Alberta or Edmonton.
That's okay. Edmonton.
I'm going to have models in a booth up there, but I'm definitely going to make a. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
All
right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 2 of 4. That was a little intro by Fluke called Absurd. And it's a call-in show. We're taking your calls. The numbers are 213-233-3998 or 720-897-6111. And if you don't know those numbers, you can just go to tfrlive.com and it'll be up at the top of your screen. Let's pick up, let's see, that's 323 area code. Looks like California. Let's pick them up. 323, you're on with Strange World. Do I know you?
Hello.
Hey, man. What's going on?
Hey, Mark. This is Aaron.
Hey, it's Aaron Kreshok.
Trying to get around today.
Yes, but
Patricia show.
Yeah, I watched you for a while on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes with Patricia Steer, and you were there doing your thing. And I've seen more of you than I really thought I would be this year.
Yeah, well, see, I've been doing stuff for years now, and then finally it's catching up. Finally getting out to the airwaves.
Yeah, and I enjoyed when I've been talking about the Salton Sea thing. I enjoyed seeing you out there more than anyone because it looked like you required the most effort to get there.
You have no idea.
You look like it. You look like some of the people I used to see going back way back to my university days, like the day after a big fraternity party. The guys like be standing there with their sunglasses. It's like, yeah, man, don't talk to me. I'm here. That's all you need to know. And then you stayed. That was awesome. And then I ran into you at the vegan grocery store later, which was even cooler. The Flat Earthers would not go away. So what's going on?
No, we're persistent. Yeah. Oh, I just mostly wanted to plug this thing in September. We're putting together basically a Flat Earth Jamboree along with, well, this is going to be a celebration for after we conclusively prove that the Earth is flat and motionless.
Right on.
All the world. So, yeah, I'm going to make a big deal out of it.
It's going to be in Los Angeles again?
Yeah, I think we're going to do it in LA somewhere, kind of trying to figure out the details. We want to do something attention grabbing, maybe not as crazy as launching myself in a rocket, but something that would, gather a lot of attention. But also we're going to just, basically like market this thing and try to get it out to specific, media production companies, studios, and news.
Sure.
Just get it everywhere and make a big deal out of it, and try to put the pressure on some of these other guys that might be trying to spin the results of certain experiments.
Nice. Well, yeah, and that's good timing because I don't think. Well, no, we can say it on air. That's fine. I didn't sign anything to say that. I wouldn't talk about what happened with the results. So National Geographic, their piece on this, on the Salton Sea experiment, what I call the Salton Sea skeptics, is not set to air at the very least until late September, early October. And, unless they do a rush job on this. And I have no, other than it's National Geographic, I have no feel for what they may do because the team that you saw out there, they have nothing to do with the final product. They just shoot raw footage and fire it back to New York. But it's National Geographic. They're gonna light us up like a freaking Christmas tree because that's what they do. It's it's the most prestigious science magazine in the history of our civilization. So yeah, the more stuff we can put out beforehand, absolutely. I'm not worried. I mean, look at the reaction when we were all at the beach, right? The IIG was putting their stuff out there, and National Geographic was trying to report on it, but you didn't see, did you see any dejected flat earthers? No. We were angry that we were there in the first place, but no, it's like, no, you guys are, this test is going to be a soup sandwich. We knew this from the beginning, and you proved us right. And you made rookie mistakes. So it was just awful.
See, the part that concerns me is the fact that Underprep was talking about when to Nat Geo and everyone else,
right?
Basically presenting the 46 feet was when we could see it, therefore proving the curvature or proving the Earth is a globe, I believe he said.
Right.
And, he's putting that on camera.
Right.
And then you have the thing that kind of leaked out from Nathan Gonzalez and those guys that had the audio, at least, of them acknowledging they saw it on the ground.
Right.
So we have that, but that's like small potatoes compared to Nat Geo getting, the main guy conducting the experiment sort of conclusively stating
they can. I know, and under prep, he's got new life in his career. I mean, he has. You got to remember, this guy specializes in debunking ghosts and psychics, so he's a bit out of his wheelhouse on this one.
He's not quite qualified, yeah.
No, and if he's coming back to the next one, hopefully he doesn't. But if he does, there will be. I'm sure there'll be some media there, and then what? Then we'll have conflicting reports. Luckily for us, I'm not too worried. One, because we have so much advanced knowledge on this. Look, they're not going to get this thing out here for another July, August, 2.5 months. We'll be able to. We'll just inundate everything. We'll have this test covered from every single angle before they release their thing. Plus, even if they do shoot it remember, they're doing basically their version of the Discovery Channel, Stephen Hawking helicopter BS that they put out. That thing got no traction with us at all because, look, we weren't even there. It's like you're not gonna pass that off as anything. Now, will it make the National Geographic viewers feel better about themselves? Yes, it will. But don't forget this: Nat Geo is in a tough spot because remember where they were 2 days earlier. They were at our meetup, and there were a lot of people there, and there were no science protester. People that were from the science side. There was nobody going against us. It was just in our own element. To where at the end. I don't think I told you this, but at the end of our session before I left that last day, we sat down on camera through 3 different angles and we talked for 30 minutes, and they were asking me some really philosophical questions, which I was surprised. They were taking it at a whole nother level, which they were saying, look, go ahead.
This was like the crew was asking you some questions.
Yeah, well, not just the crew. I mean, this was on camera. This was this was Mariana and Justin and the lead people. They had these questions ready for us basically after the meetup, which is like, okay, let's say you get to a point where Flat Earth gets even bigger than this, really, really big, and it gets outside outside of your control. And I'm going, what control do I have here? They were asking what happens to science? What happens to medicine? Yeah. What happens to all these technologies? Do we start going backwards? What does this mean? Seriously, it was like a Neil deGrasse Tyson quote. Wow. What does this mean to our civilization if you guys all of a sudden take over? It's like, what? It's like you're talking to me now like this is inevitable. Not like beforehand you were saying, oh yeah, by the way, just prove the globe, and 2 hours later now you're talking to us like we're a new blossoming religion that's about ready to start steamrolling the world. I was just very, very curious. Anyway, so
I mean, you can't walk away from that or be immersed in that for days like they were and not have it affect you.
Absolutely.
It's impossible. I don't care who you are, who you think you are, how solid you think you are in your belief systems. No. It's going to challenge those belief systems.
That reminds me. At the very end, right? I'm walking to the car because Lucy's picking me up. She's driving me to the vegan place, and one of their cameramen, the Hispanic kind of guy, South American type guy, he chases me down with camera on shoulder, and he's going, look, man. He goes, I need to know. He goes, what's your opinion on the Antarctic sun and that whole thing? I mean, you could see it's already rattling. It's already in his head. He's already it's like that's how it goes with him, right? It's like, okay, I hear you, but what about this? What about this? What about this? Like, man, you're doomed.
Sure.
So yeah. And he's not the only one. I guarantee, with the exception of Mariana. Because she's just not there. Because I forgot to tell you. You know who one of her friends is?
Who?
Terry Virts, the astronaut. Yeah, the astronaut that was on with me on that whole Good Morning Britain thing. And she called me out on it and said, "Look, Terry Virts is a friend of mine. Are you calling him a liar?" And I was like, okay, here we go. And it's like, look, I'm saying he's a military man. He's a full. He retired a full bird colonel. It's like he's military. He's like, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but yes, absolutely, I'm calling him a liar. And she's, well,
he would keep his secret.
Exactly. Is that bad? And it's like, look, there's Air Force pilots all over the place that bomb things, and they are not allowed to tell anybody. They specifically Air Force pilots more than anything. It's like, yeah, drop a bomb on that down there. It could be a town, could be a convoy. They don't know. And they, it's like mission debrief. That's it. They never mention it ever again. So it was interesting. So anyway, anything else?
Yeah. Well, I guess we are going back to Salton Sea next week, 27th, 28th, and 29th. Just plug that again.
Yeah.
And we got a couple meetups actually here. There's one in LA on the 23rd.
Cool.
And then there's another one in Anaheim on the 1st of July. So we got
and that
all
was the
kinds
guy
of
that called
going
in
on here.
earlier. He, I think one of the guys who was organizing that one, he called in for that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
So.
Yeah.
So if people want to know how to get a hold of anyone regarding the Salton Sea test, which is coming up, who should they track down?
Nathan Gonzalez, I think, is really in charge of all of that.
Okay.
You can always email me at itsaflat.com or itsaflat@gmail.com.
It's a flat
and
at gmail.com.
It's a flat. It's a flat.
It's like an Italian thing.
It's a flat. You say it with an Italian accent.
It's a flat.
It's a flat.
like the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Maybe
it's flat. It's round. It's round like your head. It's flat like your head. It's
a flat. Yeah. Okay.
Right on.
Sure.
I watch a lot of media, man.
And then we have we have all kinds of sites. I'll be putting stuff up at earthairing.com, flatempire.com,
nice,
flatnospin.com,
nice,
all that kind of jazz.
Awesome.
And I'll be doing more stuff, but I'm about to launch this new platform for my Ironcoin cryptocurrency project I've been working on.
Right on.
So, yeah.
Okay.
We're plugging that more in the future.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I may be down. Well, I'm definitely gonna be down for the September thing, but I may be down the end of next month. There's some people that want to joint up and do a joint project, and it's like, okay, maybe we haven't concreted anything yet, but so yeah, okay. Busy.
Yeah, you're all over the place. Yeah, see what happens. It's all. I mean, the future is just completely unknowable, and exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
All right, man. Well, hey, we'll talk again.
All right.
And feel free to call in more than just once. Okay.
All right.
Talk to you soon, man. All
Okay.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's jump over to another California one. Looks like 661 area code. 661, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. What's going on?
My name is Sean, and I'm a recent Flat Earth converter. I've converted over to Flat Earth just recently.
Wow, good for you. Glad to have you on board. What did it for you?
Well, I started off watching Rob Skiba, and I watched a lot of his videos, and I started listening to your experts shows.
Yep.
Excuse me. But the one thing that really got me going is, and if you want some validation, I'm not even joking when I say this, I've worked for where I live at in Lancaster here, California. I'm about 30 miles from Virgin Galactic, and I work for them, and I work for SpaceX.
Oh, wow.
I'm a former employee of both of those.
Excellent. And your opinion?
There's some interesting things going on there. I'm not going to say that you're going to go there and see a green screen or anything, but I know that I wasn't on that SpaceX that long.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I saw about SpaceX that was really interesting is I worked upstairs in like a lab, and I'm an aircraft mechanic. I'm an avionics tech, so I do all the wiring and computers for aircraft.
Sure.
So I was going upstairs, and I noticed when you're walking up to the third level there in Hawthorne, California, where SpaceX is located, there is a mural of Mars. And you look at the picture of Mars, and it's being terraformed. And the way how it looks, and the way how, if you look at any like pictures from NASA about the Earth or whatever, it looks exactly the same. It looks like you could throw it up there, say, hey, look, we're terraforming Mars, same exact picture and everything. It was just really stuck out to me, something odd. even before I became like a flat Earth convert. So I really found it. But the fun stories I have are over in Virgin Galactic because I spent there longer.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't know if you have time, if you want me to tell them or whatever, but I can tell you that from the get-go with like the Spaceship Two program, early on the government got involved. So they're really they're really controlling and monitoring what they're doing. It's kind of weird that within 7 years they've had 2 accidents that killed employees for Scale Composites, which is the original contractor that Virgin hired to build the Spaceship One and Spaceship Two. I wired them up. They're real aircraft. They go to space, or they go up, but what they do up there is I don't know. But I still think it's flat. I've been watching the sun a lot out here in the desert, and it's just the sun's moving. That's all I can say. I don't know how to prove it. I don't know how to do science on it or whatever, but I can tell you that the sun is definitely moving, not the Earth.
Cool.
And you can look out across the horizon, and you can see clouds in the distance, and you can see, the sun will be off the horizon, and you can see in the distance like a point of light on the clouds, and that tells me that that's a moving light source, not a stationary light source.
Yeah,
and it's just. But anyways, I'm a Christian, so looking at the biblical point of view and all that, I that's even more so the reason why I believe in the flat Earth. And I have another friend who worked at SpaceX, and he also got a hold of Rob Skiba's stuff, and he too is kind of converting over flat Earth. So.
Oh, yeah. Did you check out? I'm sure you did the whole testingtheglobe.com.
Yeah, I did. Rob's great. I mean, when I say I'm a flat Earth convert, it was literally like last week. I was watching some videos about like flat Earth science and flat Earth, just flat Earth. Being working in aviation, kind of physics is. I'm looking for physics. I'm looking for real experiments, of course. Rob Skiba sent that hot air balloon up, I sent the balloon up last July, I think it was. Yep. It was a flat horizon.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what they're doing up there. I have my theories. I think is, you look at, a lot of people say like things like satellites and rockets are, maybe satellites are fake or rockets are fake or whatever. But I can tell you, when I was working at SpaceX, they're building tubes. They're shipping them off someplace, to be assembled into a vehicle. Now, I don't know if all satellites are fake. I'm listening to some old stuff about science on Tesla. I'm beginning to think that maybe there's an ether up there that they could put some sort of observation device in what we consider, I want to call it space, because you bring up a good point about the vacuum. If you're in a vacuum, it should crush the vehicle or vessel. But I'm wondering if there's something up there that they can put some type of observation device. I don't know, but I can tell you that. Maybe, yeah. I know not everybody believes that, but the other theory I have is that because they spend a lot of money. They pay us a lot of they pay us money to build these things, and I feel that was one thing that I had a hard time getting around was why would they pay me money to build these things if it was a big fake? So I think some of it is fake, but I think also some of it is. I'm wondering if they've never finished like doing Operation Fishbowl. I wonder if they're still trying to test the flat
sure.
Earth. Like,
why would you ever stop? Just go up with different technologies. No, human persistence is very consistent. And why would they ever stop? I don't think they ever did.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of is that. But I do think it's flat. I do believe that things aren't lining up. The math isn't lining up. The horizon doesn't line up, and it's kind of cool. I remember last Friday I was driving along the freeway and I'm listening to this flat Earth video, and it's talking about how water is level, and water always finds its level. And they were speaking about density and porosity, rather than gravity. And it just, everything made more sense. It's simple. I figure if a God created this, or a creator, whatever people's religious beliefs are, or a group of creators, if they've created this, then the physics with it will be simple, not complicated. That's just something I've kind of come to the conclusion on. But as I was driving along, I just thought to myself, wow, I felt like it's like when you come to that realization the Earth is flat, you feel like something that other people don't. It's just like, like you woke up and you look around and like people aren't even paying attention. But anyways, thank you for letting me ramble and let me share a little bit about
it's okay, man. No, I enjoyed having you call, and you're absolutely right. When people find out there's this weird level of enthusiasm, you start looking around, and it's like, wow, Most of these people have no idea what's going on, but you do, and you have this cool piece of information. It's this cool little secret, and you're dying to tell people. But that's when the challenges start, which is okay. Who can you trust? Who can you tell?
Oh, it sets people off. It set me off when I heard about it. Like, oh, there's Citizen Flat. You guys are crazy. I worked for Virgin Galactic.
Right.
Speaking of that, you asked what I think about it. I don't think they're ever going to put people up there. They're supposed to. The original plan was to put people up in 2010, and they're 8 years late. And I can tell you, just real quick. So Space Scale Composites, they've developed the first Spaceship One and White Knight One carrier ship to carry the rocket to 50,000, and they launch it from there. So when Branson saw that, he wanted to do commercial. He wanted to commercialize it and put passengers on there. And I can tell you that when they went out of the test phase for Spaceship Two, this was before the crash, and I knew the pilot who died on that crash. He was a very good man. But when they went over to the developmental phase and started from developmental to production, it was amazing how many NASA people came to work for Virgin Galactic.
Oh, sure.
As a new company.
Sure, why not?
That was a real interesting thing. So I just feel like they're not going to. It won't be what they want it to be because it's already 8 years too late. Right. That's just my thoughts. But anyways, I enjoy the show. I enjoy listening to all you guys. I think I find you guys be heroes, and I'll let you go. And thank you for taking my call.
All right, man. Talk soon, okay?
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's jump over to maybe Illinois. 708 area code. You're on with Strange World. What are we talking about right now?
Hey, Mark. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Very good. I don't really listen to your show. I listen to TFR, and I decided to browse by the station and heard your call-ins and the flat Earth. I believe is one of your main topics. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my only topic. It's what I've been talking about now for 3 years.
All right. No, I see you. See the Strange World tab because I listen to other shows in TFR, but it's sometimes at this time of night I'm elsewhere. There's a big schedule out there. Got it, man.
Did you want to comment, or did you want me to put you on mute and you can just listen?
I want to comment.
Okay.
I've been thinking the last couple of days because I'm on the fence of the whole flat Earth thing, and I don't disbelieve it. I'm on the fence. Okay, I'm not going one way or the other. Okay,
that's okay.
The first time a couple years ago on Twitter, someone said, and I bet you think the Earth is flat too, and I had no idea what they were talking about.
Right.
So I have been gradually, I listen to Skiba, I listen to Hijacker, I listen to Zen Garcia. I listen to a whole slew of people that want to talk about this.
Right.
But one thing that's been crossing my mind the last couple of days is, since I was growing up, you'd always hear this earthly plane.
Right.
This earthly plane. But you know what? Like several things I'm not really hearing these days. I'm not hearing anybody saying this earthly plane anymore. Do you notice that?
No, I have. Well, I haven't been paying attention to that one, but that's good.
Well, you haven't heard anybody recently say this experiment called America. This experiment with this Constitution. No one's been saying that lately because they think they've won, their fight to overthrow the Constitution and make this something else. Make this the non-republic that it is. So there's certain things that they've been saying all these years, and all of a sudden they're kind of like exiting on the vocabulary. But I thought that was one of them. I got a question about the flat Earth that also has crossed my mind here.
Yeah.
What is, let's say, flat Earth? Everything. I'm caught on many of the points. But what's the depth? Because I was thinking today, and again, I don't know, I just came out of nowhere. I was thinking today, the oceans, on how the depth of the oceans. What is this? What is the depth of this flat Earth?
You mean like the thickness of this little baby?
No, yeah, the thickness, the width.
The width would be tens of thousands of miles.
The oceans are. Yeah.
But the thickness wouldn't have to be very deep. Depends on if you wanted to hide any other civilizations in there. I mean, you could make it as little as 100 miles deep if you wanted to, and that's relatively thin compared to the width. Because remember, the deepest hole ever drilled is only 8 miles, and the oceans go down a little ways. What's the Marianas Trench? 28,000 feet. So I mean, that's not very far. So it does not have to be really, really thick. And remember, or well, you probably didn't know, I really got into this first through the hollow earth theory, which was that it wouldn't take much to put an entire civilization underground. Because remember, 95% of our civilization now lives between sea level and 5,000 feet. That's tiny. That's 1 mile. And you could make a cavern 10 miles high and a couple hundred miles long. You could put a huge amount of people in there. So with that in mind, sorry, short answer to your question, not very thick at all. You do not need it to be that thick. Wouldn't have to be, seriously, if I was going to make it, I wouldn't even make it 100 miles deep. Don't need to make any thicker than that.
Well, that's what I was just curious because of the oceans and I don't know what the most, or you said Mariana Trench.
Mariana Trench, that's not even 5 miles. So that's for starters. So again, the deepest hole ever drilled on land. Oh crap, we're already going to break. I'm sorry, man. I got to cut you off. We'll come back. Thanks. Yep.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number one. Wherever you are, make it Truth Frequency Radio.
Major Kong. Primary target, the ICBM complex at Laputa. Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators. What's cooking on the threat board? Nothing. All right, tell you what you're gonna do, old buddy. You're gonna give Elmo and Charlie a flash, man. Bump everything up to condition written. Stand by the call, occupation. Major Kong. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Clear and plain and coming through fine.
What about
It's great to be fine.
What about Major
What's happened? You see the string in my legs, Carl.
What about Major
I never told you.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
Welcome back to Strange World. I'm Mark Sargent, and we are taking calls, and the call board is just lighting up tonight. I don't know what is going on with everybody. And there was a request from the chat room to get a 800 number. That has nothing to do with me. If you guys want an 800 number, please just let TFR know. Go to TFR contact and send in a recommendation. I am sure they've heard this before, but by all means, do ask them anyway. Okay, we're going to do back-to-back 661 area code calls. The first one is going to be, I don't know what the abbreviation is, but let's just pick up for 661. All right, 661, you're on with Strange World. I assume you're in California.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mark. I'm Freddie Gonzalez from Bakersfield, California.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. We met once in a Pasadena meetup. Brought my younger sister. She's in high school. She really enjoyed it.
Right on, man. Why? Okay, why didn't you go to the Arcadia meetup?
I wanted to. I really did. It was hard trying to find a little bit of transportation over there that weekend. So
no worries. It was a lot of fun though. I got to tell you, between the 100 people that were there and the camera teams, it was insane. So what's on your mind this evening?
A lot. I've actually tried to call a couple times. First time getting through, and that's okay. I don't remember how much you remember of me, but I do work at a high school, and I got to tell you, it's blowing up.
Is it?
Between the teachers and the students, and how many people I've got to convert within these last 2 years is phenomenal.
Wow, that's awesome.
Anywhere between the science or the this biology teacher just wants to ask more questions, and we have to do it, when no students are around, kind of a thing. But just it's an awesome experience trying to wake people up and get them on board.
Cool. That's really great and inspiring to hear.
Yeah. So I had a few not questions, just some thoughts on your end.
Sure.
Have you heard or seen the video? I forget the name, but I know it's cosmic egg theory.
Yep.
On Antarctica being just one of the firmament, and then more land, then another firmament, more land.
Sure. I'm pretty sure that was proposed got a lot of attention during the UK conference, which was out in London or Britain, somewhere in that area earlier this year.
Right. I fell in love with that one. I really enjoyed his presentation. And then someone else did like a shorter version of like a 3D model. And I got to tell you, when I got into flat Earth, before I did, I got into spirit science, this whole channel on YouTube, how about sacred geometry and how everything's connected, and everything's pretty much everything's connected through sacred geometry, and then got me into Hinduism and being vegetarian. I've been vegetarian for over a year now.
Nice.
And kind of realizing how source is pretty much within all of us, and we're all connected to source. And when we die, a piece of our soul, a piece of God wakes up and realizes, oh man, it was just great being that person for that reality. But I've heard of our soul going to the North Star when we die, as a battery powered. Our soul is energy. We are energy, and we go back to source. That being the North Star, and kind of being recycled in a way, reincarnation in a way. And our souls are our ancestors. I like the idea of that, how I've lived life, and that's maybe why I felt so compelled to the flat Earth theory in the beginning.
Awesome.
I've heard of other people going, oh yeah, it took me, 10 months, took me, I was a closet flat earther for a while, but really it kind of jumped at me. And I told my girlfriend, and she just did not have a good experience with it. We're no longer together, but it took a while for to finally just be like, listen, you have no idea. I can't go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
I don't know if. And then it took her a while, but I finally showed her some of your stuff, and she started getting around the idea, and we're no longer together, but she kind of said, I'm sorry for making you feel that way, and I'm sorry for calling you these names.
Gotcha.
And she, but anyways, I just wanted to keep jumping off. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take up a lot of your time.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
This Strange Rock with Will Smith, this series on National Geographic.
Right.
Have you seen it?
No, I have only heard about it.
Don't. It's complete. It's all filmed in black and white, which does not give me the authenticity I think they're trying to portray. I know a lot of a cult, or they like to play with the black and white color schemes, and Will Smith, Men in Black, right? He's
right. Right.
But all the astronauts, I could just see the look in their eye, and I just know they're reading off a script.
Oh yeah. Scott Kelly, when he was in the documentary Behind the Curve, there was a line he memorized, and that is, I first heard about the flat Earth when I was in space. It's like, yeah, yeah, that was his line. That was it. The time they interviewed him, that was the one line he wanted to get out there, and that's the line they used. So
they have satellite T on the ISS, I'm sure.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. Just trying to get my I'm glad to be on the show. I'm glad to be a caller. I've been, like I said, I've been a flat earther since 2015, 2016. I feel really great.
Good on,
my
man.
life's going in the right path. I feel great about myself.
Good.
Being vegetarian, all that good stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah. It was a pleasure talking to you, and hope you have a good show.
Yeah, thank you for calling in, and don't be shy about calling in again, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
All right, so let's jump over to another 661 call. I may know this person. We'll see. 661, you are now unmuted. Is this the person that drove me from the Salton Sea to that lovely vegetarian grocery store?
Hi, Mark. How are you? It's Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Oh, hi, Mark. It's Lucy Lemons from Palmdale. Yes, it's me. I drove you from the place all the way to your other place. I've been waiting on the line.
I am so sorry you had to wait. I saw your name there because I know your real name because I can see it, and I was like, "Oh, I hate to keep her waiting," but at least you stuck with me. So how are you, my dear?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Are you going to come to the second? I heard that there's a second Salton City remake or something like that.
Yeah. I'm not coming to that one, but because it was really, I mean, it's fairly short notice. I think it's like a week. It's a weekend after next. But there's a lot of people going to be getting involved. It's like the IIG and the National Geographic hit a hornet's nest. And so
Oh, yeah, it is for me as well. But speaking about National Geographic, now that you mention her, it kind of makes me think about the experience that I had with her. You know, she's not a flat earther, but I expressed myself with respect and with compassionate communication. And I noticed that she paid attention and she listened to me. And we had like a connection because she speaks Spanish. I didn't even know that.
Speak Spanish.
Yeah, from Portuguese. I was like, no way, you speak Spanish? That was so cool.
Did you do part of the interview in Spanish or was it just all American?
It was all just in English. But when we talked on the side for a while. We were talking and she was telling me that she has a son, and I was telling her, you know, like children know the truth because they haven't been tainted by society yet, by the system. So I told her, just ask your child, take him to the ocean or something, whatever you like, and ask him what he sees, to just put everything else to the side and listen to his heart. And I know because she loves her son, she will listen to her, and she will listen to him. And I have a really good feeling that I touched her heart some way. And I think that compassionate communication is a way for us flat earthers to put the truth out there. And I'm not saying that we don't do it that way, but a lot of globe people are usually mean to us, you know, and you don't have to do that. Just speak your
an
truth
amazing story.
with respect.
Where's she from originally? Because her last name, I think it's her married name, is Von Zeller, or maybe it's not her married name. I don't know.
Portuguese. She's from Portugal. She's Portuguese.
Oh, all right then. Right on. That's really cool.
That was so awesome. So I just wanted to share something that I learned in there. You know, just compassionate communication. You have to talk to people from your heart. When you talk to people from your heart, people listen.
Right. That's awesome. I am so glad you did that. And I didn't know. I did not, because I was so busy doing. She talked to you during the meetup. That's when you guys, or was it down at the Salton Sea?
Yeah, it was at the Salton City. I spoke to her I did the interview at the meetup.
Yeah.
And she was really, really nice. She was super cool. She was very understanding. I told her I'm very shy, so be nice. And she was like, "Oh, it's totally cool." And then we spoke on the side at the Salton City and everything. So she made it very comfortable. You know, if you want to talk about flat Earth, you don't have to feel uncomfortable because not everyone's going to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
And I, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I had a really good time talking to you for a whole hour on our way to the vegan restaurant.
I had no idea it's going to be that far away. I'm so sorry. Look, if for those of you know,
It's okay.
Lucy Lemon saved me.
It was worth it.
You were the only one that stayed till the very end. Where National Geographic, they were going to be there for hours, and I'm sitting there, and they're going, 20 minutes, and turned like 35 minutes. I was going, look, guys, I don't even know if my ride is still around, and you were there. We drove to the place together and hung out for a while. It was a blast, and you were there. But when we got there, you probably saw that the cashier for that vegan grocery store was one of ours.
Wow, that is so cool. No, I didn't notice. That is awesome.
When we got there, she kept wondering, it's like, who are these people that are coming in, right? And then somebody goes up.
He is growing.
Yeah, it goes up and mentions it to her, and she looks at me and does the sideways hand thing. And I was going, get out. And she goes, yeah, my boyfriend and I are both into it. It's like, right on. I go, if we run into like a random vegan grocery store, I mean, of all places, and there's a flat earth person.
Yeah, you know what they say, though?
What?
There's no coincidences, Mark. Everything happens for a reason. You are at the right place at the right time.
Yep. I wholly agree with you. Wholly agree with you.
Yeah, that was a very tiring day, though. I took a nap in the car and everything, but I was there like a trooper, supporting my friends and everything, my flat earth friends, and myself as well, because I'm a flat earther and I believe in that strongly. I put a little video on YouTube and everything, Lucy Lemons with 3 S's.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to see it.
Yeah. Please do go to your channel, which is Lucy Lemons with 3 S's at the end.
3 S's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, it was great. And again, Flat Earth represented. They were there in force. We had 30 people there. And you're saying, 30 people, who cares? Right? So, no, it was 5 a.m. We had 30 people on a Sunday, and we had 30 people there. That was crazy. We outnumbered the National Geographic team. We outnumbered the IIG team. We outnumbered everybody. And we shouldn't even exist.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, in the middle of freaking nowhere. Look up Salton City sometime.
Nowhere.
There's nothing there. You are equal distance between LA and San Diego. There is like nothing out there. It's a dead area.
3 hours away from me.
Yeah, even the park rangers were amazed.
And I got a little bit lost on the way there, but I made it. And if you really want to make it, just come on down. This just shows you that if the middle of nowhere can get drowned, figure of speech, with all these people, just imagine what little cities and bigger cities can do. Everyone just needs to come together. Yeah. Just slowly. Baby steps. Yeah, but I just wanted to share that with you, about my experience with National Geographic and everything. And it was really cool to hang out with you, Mark. I really loved our talk. And I got to know you a little better. You're super cool, dude, for real. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for being wonderful. It was a joy to spend time.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
All right.
Thank you. I hope to see you soon again.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Okay. You have a good night. I'll keep listening to the show.
All right. Stay flat. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. And I must apologize. Somebody messaged me during this, and when I said they spoke Spanish instead of American, I should have what Lucy said, Spanish instead of English, because there are a number of different languages in this country. And American is technically not in English. Thank you guys for pointing that out to me. All right. Just force of habit, conditioning over the years. Who am I grabbing next? I'm grabbing 312 area code. 312, you're on with Strange World right now. Where are you? Who are you? What are we talking about?
Hey, Mark. It's Nick in Chicago. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. I called, I think about a couple months ago, and it's my second phone call to the show. Did you ever see that BMW X3 commercial?
With the what?
Subliminal, like lingo. I've written down actually the text.
It's not the one the astronaut is driving, is it?
No. It's like it says this like guy like in the driving in like Antarctica. It's almost like he's in the snow and scuba diving and then riding a bicycle and I could read what it said in the commercial. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write this down. So it goes like this. It says, as long as there is fear, as long as there is curiosity, as long as there is undiscovered corners of the earth, and as long as there is a willingness and desire, then you are capable of more.
Hint.
And
nudge, nudge.
Yeah. It's like the X3 is their little SUV, and I'm thinking we should get a caravan of those and put those track and goes, on the wheels and just, start trucking, going south.
Yeah.
So,
That's interesting, and I will have to look up that commercial now. Just jog my memory.
Yeah, it was on YouTube. Some guy says, "Oh, it was BMW trying to tell us that they believe in flat Earth." So it's like, that one line, as long as there's undiscovered corners of the earth, that reminded me of that one Bible verse, the four corners of the earth.
Of course. Yeah.
So, and,
nice.
And then the other thing, did you ever see that one video on YouTube that Pastor Dean? Like, That is like, okay, that's like, if you want to show that to a Christian friend, like I have so many Christian friends, I'm like, show them that. And the way he preaches, it's very soothing. It's like he really knows how to like use the scripture, and then with those documents, I'm just like, okay, it's game over from there. So
yeah. It's still amazing to me, though, how many pastors out there are holding on to the heliocentric model. Mostly because of one verse. It's amazing the power of words, the power of one verse, Isaiah 40:22. He who sitteth upon the circle of the earth. I mean, they're holding on to that like grim death, and they will not let it go.
Yeah.
And even though other people's like, look, circle is not ball, circle is not globe, circle is not sphere. It is a very specific word. But no, they're not going to let it go. It's amazing. All the other verses, like it staggers me that you can look at Rob Skiba's testingtheglobe.com and then negate it. Like that verse has veto power over it. Like over what? Genesis? The first chapter in Genesis is like the firmament, the waters above, the waters below, because that doesn't take precedent. It's the first freaking chapter of the first book. You're gonna give me Isaiah?
Right.
Come on, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and then I always wondered what the in Job where it says, and he hangeth the earth upon nothing. Like what's I mean, that gets into more detail of like the structure, like he hangeth the earth upon nothing. Like, so there's, do you have any ideas on what that would be, or what would, it's can't be space.
Well, no, I know. Well, no, if you're hanging it upon nothing, it means you're setting it on something. Meaning it's not hanging; it's just sitting there. And I mean, let's not get into it too much. I mean, how many different passages are there? It's the earth is fixed, immovable, over and over and over again. The four corners of the earth, the dome-like structure,
the pillars of the earth,
the pillars, and of course one of my favorites, which was Psalm 19:1. Not that this should turn into a Sunday show, folks, but Psalm 19:1, which is on Werner von Braun's headstone, which says he, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Why would Werner von Braun be talking about a dome-like structure? On his headstone. Why would that be there? It wouldn't. So
a little clue, a little Easter egg there for everybody.
Yeah, reaching beyond the grave. Anyway, anything else? Because I want to have one more call before the break. Any other little tidbits?
That's it. Okay. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And keep up the great work. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, man. Talk soon.
Thanks. Goodbye.
All right. Let's jump over to what could be New York. I say could be because people take their cell phones with me. Like I have a Colorado area code, but I'm up in Seattle. All right, let's jump over to 914 area code. You're on with Strange World. Are you in New York or are you somewhere else?
No, I'm in New York, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, sorry you had to wait so long. What's happening?
Oh, a lot of things. Wow. Glad to talk to you, of course, as usual. Can I talk to you about a couple of things?
Yeah, you got 4.5 minutes. Go.
Ah, damn, 4.5 minutes? That's how much time I got? Oh, excellent. All right.
Talking. Go.
Okay. All right. Let's go for it. Let's talk about it. Let's just let people know about this thing. What are your beliefs about, being actually on the moon, this quarter of a size so-called sphere, which they've indoctrinated us with that word.
Okay.
And then looking at the Earth with all the pictures in space.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, how big would that thing actually be?
Be in the sky? It would be huge. It would be huge. We have what I think would be atmospheric lensing. It's the effect that scientists still don't know how to describe. When you see the moon come up over the horizon, a full moon, it's really, really big. Not even a supermoon, it's really, really big.
Yeah.
And all the artist renditions of the Earth, called the Earthrise, appropriately enough, by everyone before they went to the moon, thought it was going to be freaking huge. Going to be massive because it's an 8,000 mile wide object when you're sitting on a 2,000 mile wide moon. And in fact, even Norman Rockwell did a thing where he's like, the moonrise was he rendered as this huge thing. And yet when they got up there, it didn't seem that big by comparison. In fact, they seemed to, which was a smart move on their part, because you'd want to make it as small as possible, because that way you could get away with not showing that much detail. So it's like, oh yeah, we showed the Earth. It's not really that big. Because if you did, people would be like, "Oh wow, I can see my house from here," and they didn't.
No, I mean that's my entire point out to people that just don't understand when they're looking at these pictures from the moon to the Earth. And they're looking at, I mean, this small little object that should be 75 times size percentage in the sky itself. And not only that, it should be at 12 o'clock on the well. All right. Okay. Let me go way back here. All right. So I mean, you've got a moon here that's not moving at all. That's stationary, and you've got it pointed down to the Earth or pointed up or whatever the hell it is. It doesn't make a difference. And it's always going to be at the 12 o'clock area up here. And there's no way you can take a picture of that. And there's no way you can take a picture of the sun during the summertime with you on the surface and the sun up on top and you right there. There's no way you can take that picture. It's absolutely impossible to do that. And they're doing this on the moon, and these are all fake freaking pictures.
Agreed.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's all a freaking sideshow, and it's never gotten any better over the years. And it's amazing to me how the production level I thought would have been ramped up a little, but I think fear has kept them keeping the reins on it, because I think they're tempted to use the new tech to get some real detailed stuff out there, but they know that some nerd in the middle of Kansas at 3 a.m. in their underwear is going to find it, and they're going to find the flaws, which they have already.
That's why they took. Yeah, of course. That's why they took the stars out of there. Yeah, and I get so many. Yeah, I mean, you can't put stars up in space. They just completely minused it. And look, we have no stars up there. You can't see it because of the sun. Even if we go to Pluto, you still can't see the sun. Right. I mean, you still can't see the stars because of the.
Beautiful high rendered shots of Saturn and Jupiter. You can't see the stars behind them. Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all.
No. Yeah. I absolutely agree. You got about 40 seconds. Anything else you want to throw in?
Damn. All right.
I'm sorry.
Mark, of course. Everybody up there, Zulu One. There's so many people here. Of course, Wes.
I catch your videos, by the way, from time to time. You were on the beach recently.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Stopping by. I really do.
Yeah.
It's really nice of you.
Yeah, well, heck, you're in it. You're one of the regulars. I love seeing your enthusiasm. So, thank you for being involved.
Yeah, no, that's me. Here I am.
Right on. Do a plug for your channel real quick. What is it? CC.
CC. That's it. On YouTube.
C space C. There's the music. There you go, man. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right, Mark.
Okay.
Absolutely. Definitely.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. This is a call-in show, and yes, this is for Ginger Sugarbush up in Canada. That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album, Night and Day. Okay, it's a call-in show. We are going to rip through these. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to be able to get to all of you, but I will tell you the ones I'm going to try to grab in order. I'm going to try to grab Ohio first. We're going to no, you know what? Change that. I'm going to grab Canada first, since that's long distance. I'm going to grab Ohio, probably Kentucky, probably New York after that. I'm going to try to get California, maybe Florida, maybe Washington. We'll see. I can at least get 4 or 5, though. Here we go. Ready? Ohio. Nope. Sorry. It's Ohio. I juked him out. Sorry, he was on mute for a second. Let's go to Canada. 9, wherever you are in Canada. You're up in Ontario, right?
It's Ginger Sugar Bush.
Oh my God.
Mark.
What are the odds? What are the odds? I did not know that was you.
And I didn't type in Joe Jackson until after you said that. So that's in Zulu.
That's awesome.
But Mark, you already have an 800 number.
I do.
The 800 number is already there. So 1-866-268-7884.
Really?
That's the same number
could.
I called Jaron.
Give me that number again. 86. Are you sure that's not Jaron's 800 number? 866.
It's TFR's 800 number.
Okay, give it to me again. 866.
Yeah, 866-268-7884.
All right. Is that supposed to be public knowledge?
I don't think it shouldn't be.
All right, I'm gonna have to ask somebody about this. So anyone that listened to that probably shouldn't write that down, or listen to the recording and write it down. I know because I'm looking on the screen and I don't see it. I've got multiple numbers up there. I do not have any 800 numbers, but I will confirm. But thank you for that. Anyway, what's going on? Make it short and sweet because I'm gonna pound people out here.
Well, I just wanted to tell you about the number. That
was it?
Kind of screws me over.
That's what you're calling for?
Well, no, not really, but that's all I got when I've lost my train of thought after watching the show.
That's all right.
Shout out to Zulu and all of the great folks on the YouTube.
Right on.
Listen on TFR with the TFR audio feed and watch the chat on YouTube. That's the way it works.
All right.
And yep. Thank you, Mark.
Hey,
I'll keep
thank
it
you.
short and take it easy. This shout out, that was awesome.
All right, man. I'll probably do that again over the next shows. But anyway, thank you. You have a good rest of your night, okay?
All right, you too. Take care.
All right, bye-bye. All right, let's jump over to Ohio. Then we're going to jump over to Kentucky. So, Ohio, sorry, I took you off mute for a second. Then I put you back on. What's going on? I'll give you 3 or 4.
Hey, what's going on, Mark? I don't know if you talked about it yet, but about Donald Trump and the Space Force.
Talked a little about it in the beginning. I just caught that headline in the sound bites this morning where he seemed like he was doing a little impromptu thing where he was talking about how they were going to form a space force. And I immediately thought, okay, Starship Troopers from the late 90s, one of my favorite movies. Holy smokes, you're welding again, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, this is going to be a short call then because it's really loud when you're welding.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
That's okay. But we did talk about it.
About that.
Yeah. Space Force. I'm going to put you on mute while I answer that question. The Space Force was something you guys can look it up. It's a headline as of this morning where Donald Trump, who's in the news pretty much every day, more than any other president I've ever seen. A lot, not just in the news. I mean, he's like front page all the time. Talked about how he was going to create sort of a space force. And the thing is, we already have we have Space Command. That's out in Colorado. I only knew this because I lived out there for 20 years. So what the new Space Force thing is, what they're going to recruit, was that straight out of the Independence Day, the second one, where they were recruiting? I don't know. Whatever. I'm not really a huge fan. All right, let's jump over to Kentucky. Kentucky, you're on with Strange World right now.
Is this a show that's talking American?
Shut up. I made a mistake, and it wasn't a rookie mistake. It was that proves how old I am. Yes, I know that there is no such language as American. There's an American accent, but English is what we speak over here for the most part. However, there are a bunch of other languages. I was not trying to disparage anyone, so please, no hate mail. Anyway, is this Master Gunner Brian Burton?
Yes, it is.
Right on. What's going
on,
man?
How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing well. What would you like to rant about? And keep in mind, we are trying to punch through a few people tonight.
Kinky. All right. So slightly off the flat Earth topic. Seems like you want to talk about America, anyways.
That's all right. Let's talk about America.
Thing. The border thing down there going on in the news media.
Right. What do you want me to talk about?
I'll make this quick.
Go ahead. Go.
Well, no, I'll talk about it real quick. All right. So last time I checked, or at least when I was taught and brainwashed in school, we had three branches: executive, legislative, and judicial.
Mm-hmm.
Legislative is supposed to make the laws, executive execute, and judicial is supposed to judge it, right? I noticed today, watching all this back and forth, it doesn't matter what your political alignment is, by the way. Why do we have the legislation calling all these people in to pass judgments, subpoenas, the FBI, the Facebook shit and all that, making judgments and asking the executive, the president, to waive the law that they've had into effect? And I don't know where the judicial department's been for the last year or so.
Right.
Because, I mean, like Trump or not, but what he did say was he's going to have a zero tolerance and do the laws they have on the books. He's asking Congress to change it if they want.
Right.
But I saw a whole bunch of congressmen, senators saying, we don't have to change it. He just needs to waive obeying the law.
Right. Which seems a little hypocritical, maybe. A little bit.
Slightly. A little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. The border thing is such a hot button, and it is not going to get any better soon because they're really tugging. You know me, I don't vote, but I can see this somewhat objectively. It's like, look, they are tugging on the heartstrings of women out there in this country. Yeah, it's like, which is with the quintessential line, think of the children, You can put that in so many different scenarios, but that's the one in this case. Think of the children.
Yeah, definitely. It's just funny because there is a law, and whether you agree with the law or not, I got you.
Yeah.
But they could change the law, but they're not wanting to change the law. They just want to, whatever. And real quick comment on your Space Force thing, which is funny, but I'm pretty sure the idea behind it is, like you were saying, the Space Command, because every branch has their own little, quote, Space Command thing.
Yeah.
To control their, quote, satellites and all that other shit.
Right.
Pretty sure he's just going to combine them all together. I don't think they're going to try to make,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. Every time I hear Space Force, I literally think, service ensures citizenship. Join today.
Oh, yeah. And I love that movie. That was a great movie.
Only good bug is a dead bug. Yeah. If you guys have not seen, if you're not old enough to remember Starship Troopers, look it up. It is cheesy, but man, it is a lot of fun. And it was one of the first R-rated science fiction movies of its day.
Was that R-rated?
Yeah, it was absolutely R-rated. Mostly, I mean, there was some sex, there was some violence, there was some swearing, and it was done by the guy that was notorious, the same director that did Showgirls, one of the worst movies in the history of cinema.
Yes.
Yeah, same guy. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll let you go.
All right.
I just want to do a quick shout out and hope Zulu's wife's feeling better. Heard she was under the weather and all.
Yeah, I hope so too. In fact, I think that he may be the next one I pick up.
Well, then let me get off here and let you get him on.
All right, man.
You have a good one, man.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Bye. All right. Speaking of Zulu, what's happening? Start spreading the news.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am well.
Mark from New York here.
How's New York happening?
Not too bad. It was warm. It was crystal clear. I was able to see the moon this afternoon, and then they sprayed, and now I can't see anything. It's all gray.
I'm sorry.
They suck. They suck. And yes, I'm going to speak American if that's okay.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm like the 100th person to break your chops. I know.
Oh my God! Everybody's going to come.
Just because I was out home so damn long.
and I am not. You got to remember, I did not grow up in a hick place. It was a rural island up in the Northwest, but it was near Seattle, for God's sakes. If I grew up in Texas, then maybe I could be accused. If we speak American around here, where are you from?
Texas.
Who's the president of the United States?
Hey,
what?
I know you've heard it so many times, but what the hell, man? Space Force? For real? I mean,
Space Force.
I heard that. I'm like, they're literally making Space Marines.
Yeah.
Because the president can't create a branch of the military. Congress has to. So it's going to be like the Marine Corps is to the Navy.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Hudson and Hicks and Vasquez and all the guys from Alien.
And oh my God, I can't believe they're literally doing
it. We're on.
I told my son, I was like, you got to get in on that.
Going down. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah. I was just floored.
Yeah. Space Force. Seriously, where's the movie?
Yeah,
got to grab the movie rights to that thing like immediately.
Yes, absolutely. Well, they're going to have to do Space Farce and use Larry the Cable Guy.
Space Farce. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, it's an oldie but a goodie.
What do you got?
Two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I am not yet completely sure about the universe.
Yep, Albert Einstein.
And
I know that one.
We know that one, but I just lately, what is going on?
It's pretty nutty.
What is this? Right? I mean, like the. I don't want to say to make me sound stupid, but the dumbness has been ramping up.
It's like somebody has turned the volume up to 11 on this. It's getting really weird out there. All I can say, I'm glad I got my food and water already in boxes.
Yes.
It's one of those things.
Kicking out so much space stuff.
It's like a powder keg out there. Any little thing is just setting everybody off, and I'm hoping that Flat Earth isn't necessarily responsible, but whatever. There's a quote here I have from Peanut Gallery, and then I'm going to keep your call a little bit short because I do want to grab a couple more people before I sign up.
Absolutely.
This quote
Shout out to everybody. Love all of you.
I'm not done with the quote. Shut up. Here we go.
I know.
Expressing doubt is how we begin a journey to discover essential truths. And that's from Kilroy J. Oldster. I don't know exactly what he's going for there, but I would have just gone with game over, man. Game over. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, game over. Game over, man. That is the awesome line. Awesome line. I do it all the time. People look at me like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, come on, you don't know aliens.
How do you not know that? And that's an early 80s video game reference because the verbiage was remember, because a lot of the games were made in Japan. And so game over, it's not even great English, but all the kids got it because that's what it said at the end of the frickin' thing. They could have used formal English and said, not formal American, mind you, and said, your game is over. Your game has ended. Blah, blah, blah. But no, game over. It's like, okay.
It's freaking game over, man.
Game over, man. Anyway, I got to let you go, but I will probably talk to you after this. Over, the post wrap, blah, blah, blah.
Take it easy. Love you guys. Shout out to Lucy Lemons with 3 S's. She's cool.
I know.
Man.
I love Lucy Lemons.
That's cool. You got to spend time with her.
I know. In her car, driving for an hour. Just she and I is rapping about stuff. Anyway, we'll talk soon, okay?
Nice. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll just listen. Take it easy.
Okay. All right. Let's jump over to California is really stepping up tonight. And we're going to go to 818 area code. That's in Canoga Park, California. What's happening?
Right. Is this Sergeant Strange of the Flat Earth Army?
Well, it was B, but I was thinking of changing it to Sergeant Strange of Space Force. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, I'm gonna go fast because I know you need me to go fast.
Go.
Everybody's got to look up the National Reconnaissance Office. The NRO has existed the whole time as the shadow operation in space. NASA's been a distraction the entire time. That's why they don't know shit. Look up the National Reconnaissance Office, everybody, regular website, regular government shit. So it's funny we never talk about that. Okay, so everything is kicking in. It is like an army now. I'm so proud to be a part of this. I was so proud of all the people that called today. It was a great show. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah. And everyone that's participating, everyone that cares, like yourself. I'm at war. I'm at war with science. And I'm in an argument with science. I did an argument with science the other day, and I'm going, this flat. They're going, oh, it's a sphere, this flat. And prove it, show me. Where's radius? All this stuff, Finally, I decided I'm going to win this argument. So I said, so can you spell sphere? Because I noticed there's fear in the word sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to them, can you spell sphere? And they said, of course I can. I said, how? They said, S-P-H-E-R-E. Very proud of themselves.
Right.
I said, really? You forgot the F. They said, well, there ain't no F in sphere. And I said, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you.
Nice.
Thanks, Mark. Nice talking to you. I got
Is that
other
it?
stuff to tell you. I'm
Is
so
that it?
excited.
You're not even
No,
gonna-
I got so much shit. I got so much going on.
All right, all right.
totally
Well,
trying to
well,
work
do
with
a- do a-
everyone and everything.
Do a plug at
What?
least. Do a plug.
No, there is no plug yet. Everything, because really, we're
right.
trying to avoid the organization. We're trying to do a center instead of an organization. Chris is going to drive out when he's done with the in November, and I'm hoping to have it open by then. So I'm hoping to have you come out after November as well, after the conference. You got big plans around here, and it's pretty damned exciting. Thank you so much for your participation. Of course, I'll call you when I need your help.
Okay. All right, man. We'll talk soon, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mark.
All right, let's jump over to, that was Dan the Waterman, by the way, from Canoga Park, California. Let's go to Everett, Washington. Let's see how many I can nail before the buzzer sounds. Okay, 425 area code. You're in my neck of the woods. What's going on?
Yeah, always a great show, Mark. Listen, you got a badge of honor today. So we go back to 2015, February. A guy named Mark Sargent, he basically commercialized and turned basically Flat Earth into retail. And then once you hit coast to coast, so, I mean, really, you can almost say you're the one that was the impetus of the person that got it going. But if you remember back then, Mark, you only heard maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, a story out of NASA, story about a planet. And then it got more and more as more and more people started waking up to Flat Earth. Right. Now it's every single day you got something from NASA, you got something on coast to coast, you got something about rockets or whatever. And today, Mark, and you can take this as your badge of honor, they're bleeding so bad, Mark. Somebody said, look, man, there's like 20, 30, 50 million. There might be 100 million of them. What are we going to do? And somebody comes up with this giant syringe and says, Mr. President, we got to start a space command. These people are, they're not buying it no more. You got to hit them with something so big and so large. So, and it was without you, Mark, what you did back in 2015 in February. I don't think we would have a space command right now. I mean, that's how bad they're bleeding now.
Well, thank you. Again, I'm not going to take all the credit. There were people doing it before me. All I can say is that I created the Dummies Guide, and that seemed to be a wonderful transition from the street people right back into the Flat Earth community. So
clues, that you commercialized it. That's what happened. Is you basically made it retail. Up until that point, it didn't even hit. It didn't even come up on YouTube or any place else. Anyways, I know you got another calls. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, thank you. But thank you. Hey, you have a good rest of your night, okay? And he was gone, just like that. Okay, let's grab 7 minutes. I think we can do a few more. We'll do 858 and then maybe 254. All right, 858, another one in California. What's going on? I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes. What's happening? What's
Hey, it's Dave Romero calling from San Diego. I'm sorry I missed you at the Salton Sea. I wanted to be there, but my girlfriend and I had a trip planned out to Ireland and Scotland.
That's actually more.
I was kind of sad.
That's all right.
So let me tell you, I had a consolation prize though. We were in Edinburgh, and we drove up to see Loch Ness and Inverness.
Nice.
And we were walking around Inverness, and we came up to the Flat Earth Cafe right in the middle of town. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Right in the middle.
Did you take pictures?
I took a picture and I sent it to you, and you already responded, and you said you'd use it.
Crap. Hopefully, I included it in something.
You might have.
Send it again, just in case. I got to look through my folders because that could have been when you sent it. Because my email's behind, I may have put it on my old machine. You know what? That's what probably happened.
That was only a few days ago. But not only that, after that, my girlfriend kind of took me aside because we were with one of her very indoctrinated friends. So when we saw the cafe, we didn't really say much. We just kind of looked at it, took a picture, and we kind of took off, kind of smiling to each other. And afterwards, my girlfriend took me aside. She said, "Hey, did you see all the tagging around town?" Like, what are you talking about? See anything? She's like, "Well, when we're driving, look at the signs next time. There's only one highway that goes from like Edinburgh up to Inverness. So on my way out, somebody tagged the crap out of that place. There's just Flat Earth everywhere on the signs."
Oh no!
Just yeah.
That's great.
No,
And
so
been
That was up in Inverness.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of tagging, but I had a smile on my face.
No.
That's kind of cool.
Hey kids, don't deface public property or private property with flat Earth slogans, but at the same time, it's still kind of cool. I know that the Army
Hey,
can't
one last question before I go. Do you know what the cap is going to be on the conference in Denver? Like as far as heads?
I do not know. I don't know if there is a cap at the moment. I think they're just going to keep adjusting the room size because what we've got is a pretty big place. So I wouldn't worry too much. You'll get in. I don't think it's going to sell. I shouldn't say that, but if it does sell out, don't worry because there's always people that can't make it because they buy their tickets, they can't travel, and then I end up being like a hub stub or whatever that is, like an intermediary, and people just send me, I become the matchmaker for people that need tickets. Tickets. So don't sweat it too much.
I got a ticket. I'm just curious how many people are going to be there.
Oh, in Denver, it's going to be a pretty big thing because it's not too far west. That we'll still get some people from the East Coast that'll drive rather than fly. So it should be big. I don't know the numbers, but it'll be, I think, bigger than last year.
Cool.
So.
All right. Well, good talking to you. Keep
All right,
it up.
man. Nice talking to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right. We're going to pick up at least one more. Let's just go straight over, and this person's going to have about 3 minutes. How about 254 area code? Are you there, Texas?
What's up, Mark? It's Shannon.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're probably the last call of the night, and you got 3 minutes starting now. What is on your mind? Better not be Space Force.
Okay, well, I'm probably not good. I just heard a loud pop outside my house, and I called my electric company because my electricity went off. And as soon as I called them, they said, "Is this Shanahone?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Your meter just went out," which I have a smart meter, and they're going to probably come put a newer model smart meter on my house.
So did the old smart meter break?
I guess. It was showing nothing. I went out there, and my husband checked on everything, and he flipped all the switches back off and on, and nothing. And the meter was showing nothing.
So
they said they're on their way.
Oh, I was about to say, so there's people coming out there right now.
Yeah, they're coming out here right now. But what was weird is they told me, "Your meter just went out." I know that's not weird because that's the whole point of the smart meter thing, so they know everything that's going on.
Right. They can tell, right? It's not like you have to call them in. It's like, really? We'll send a truck out. No, now it's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's kind of like a cable box in many ways because they can tell exactly what's happening in your cable box, over the phone,
right,
from anywhere.
But I just found it.
So you're in the dark right now.
Yeah, I am in the complete dark because I'm in Texas, so it's dark.
and yet, here's the dedication for you folks. And yet, you're calling in to a Flat Earth radio show right now. Your power's out. There's things probably melting in your freezer right now.
That's right. My beer is getting hot, man.
You got to have priorities. I was going to say ice cream. If you want to go to beer, that's fine too. That's totally cool. You got about a minute. You got a minute left before the music goes. Any shout outs you want to do? Any little dedications? Anything?
Well, I do kind of want to give a shout out to Chris Haskell.
Okay.
I'm sure that many of y'all are out there aware of him, in Tucson, Arizona, I think. He's suffering with some stuff, from the federal government.
Okay.
He's been trying to get awareness about chemtrailing, and he's facing some federal charges just for putting some signs up. It's pretty ridiculous. If anybody wants to go look into that,
all right,
he needs some help because he's, of course, an attorney.
Send your good thoughts and energies and whatever else you can to this man. Sounds like he needs your help. On that note, I got to say goodbye because the music's kicking in right about now. Thank you much for calling. And I'll be here next week, guys. Same flat time, same flat channel.
That's a great honor and privilege for us to be here representing not only the United States,